This is the Stories from the Field podcast, a Delaware Farm Bureau production, sharing real stories from local farmers while educating the public on the agriculture industry. Welcome to the Stories from the Field podcast. Whether this is your first time listening or you're an avid listener, you will be inspired by the stories of our Delaware farmers. I am your host, Macy Carter, co-chair of the Delaware Farm Bureau Promotion and Engagement Committee. Today, I am joined by the 2025 Delaware Farm Bureau State Rising Star Award winners, Robbie and Emily Emerson. They are both dedicated grain and dairy farmers whose passions for agriculture and commitment to the community have made them respected leaders in Delaware. A lifelong member of the Delaware Farm Bureau, Robbie has contributed significantly to both the organization and the broader ag community. On his farm, Robbie embraces innovation and sustainability. In recent years, he has expanded acreage, upgraded equipment, and adopted progressive practices. Emily Emerson shares the same deep-rooted passion for agriculture. She is an agriculture teacher and FFA advisor at William Penn High School in Newcastle, Delaware, where she leads the Animal Systems Pathway and helps students explore careers in animal science. Growing up in Delaware's agriculture industry, Emily developed a lifelong love for agriculture through showing dairy cows at local, state, and national levels. Today, she continues to share her passion with her students through hands-on learning, livestock projects, and leadership development within the FFA. Together, Robbie and Emily Emerson embody the spirit of Delaware agriculture, balancing innovation with tradition, leadership, mentorship, and a shared dedication to preserving the future of farming for generations to come. Thank you so much for joining us, Emily and Robbie.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. After that long-winded introduction, it's very obvious that you're both deeply rooted in agriculture. What did farming look like in your lives before you met? And then how did those paths kind of intersect?
So my mom had horses when we lived in Middletown. We lived in the town of Middletown, and my mom had horses. So every Saturday morning we would get up early and go to the horse barn and do all of that stuff. And I just had to be involved. And then my brother and Robbie are the same age.
Okay.
So when they started showing cows together, I, of course, had to be better than my brother. So when I started showing, that's kind of like where like the natural sibling competition came in. And then obviously Robbie is where the dairy part came involved.
Farming for me has always been a part of my life. I've grown up here on the farm. This is my grandparents' place that we are now. My father's always worked on the farm. I've been in the tractors with my great aunts, my great uncles all my life. Everything that we've done over the years, I've watched them do, and then we've learned how to make it better over time. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, in the last 15 years, technology has brought us a long ways.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
It's been very interesting to see how things have changed. I always say that, in my short time, technology has changed drastically, and it's amazing what we can do today. But looking back from when my grandfather started, how much he's seen in his lifetime and how that's changed his type of farming that we've done. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing how far we have come.
Yeah, you think about 50 years past, like that's crazy to think the technology we have today. They could have probably never imagined what it would be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about all the time. I mean, they started out with old H's and M's, and they were working ground 10 foot at a time, and here we are today.
Mm-hmm.
We're using conservation practices now that we're not doing as much, but we have equipment that we're running that's 40 foot wide. Back in the day, he never thought he was going to do something like that, and stuff that took him a week to do that we're doing in hours now. So it's been a lot of good changes.
Yeah, definitely. With less and less farmland, you guys have to be even more efficient and have that precision agriculture to help you do that. Yep. Now, farming's definitely in both of your blood, of course. Running a farm and shaping the next generation of ag leaders are both full-time commitments that you have. So how do you balance the farm life and how do you balance the teaching and your kids and family without burning out?
It's very hard.
I know. I can imagine.
So the boys go with me a lot on the farm. So that's where
nice.
they come in with me Emily's, she's got a full-time job off the farm who, is teaching 5 days a week, and then turn around, on her off time, she's teaching students here and there, or, doing projects with kids wherever. We always try to make sure that we're all around at some point in time. So harvest season and spring,
harvest season, planting season are hard.
She'll say, they're a little rough, but I mean, there's
you never know where you're at.
There's a lot of divide and conquering.
Yeah.
So we kind of know that when, like, off season right now.
Right now you're slow.
Obviously, like, more attentive, more home. So that gives me luxury or the ability to be able to do school projects
and prepare for state convention.
Yes. And then I know that when it's busy season, there's a lot of like planning of yes, we can do this, or no, we can't do this because I have to be XYZ or whatever the situation is. And it really has just come down to just saying no. Yeah. It's a lot harder than
I struggle with that, but it's so true.
It is very, very common. So it has been a learning curve, but luckily it's the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like, when fall
season.
Comes, like luckily it's not like they're planting now in January all of a sudden. Like nothing's changing. So luckily it has been the same. So you kind of just learn to go with the flow.
And that's the same with any job. You have your really busy times and your really slow times, and you just work through it. Yeah. And especially now with 2 boys, you have to manage both. One of each of you. No,
like literally. That's
And the good part for us, I mean, even here at the farm, even if the boys come with me to work, there's most of the people that help us are family.
Right.
And the boys have no trouble with going with someone else. Or most days they pick to go with someone else. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it works out very well for us that we're all very family oriented, and that, we all try to take care of each other. So
it really takes a village.
It does. Now, obviously, you have a dairy. Now, how many head do you have? Are you involved in the dairy operation?
So my father runs the dairy operation. He takes care of all the cows. He does most of the cow work. Him and my grandmother do a lot of the milking. We have a couple hired guys that help out. Some younger boys that are very, very good, who've grown up showing animals with us, who we've mentored over the years, who are helping us now. My grandfather still feeds every morning, which is what he likes to do. If there's days that he doesn't want to do it, I'll fill in here and there. Usually when I come in the mornings, I just go do whatever needs to be done that hasn't been done, because it takes all of us to get it done in the morning and be done. As far as when it comes time for harvesting and stuff for the crops, I do most of that. I do most of the planning for the silages that we'll plant for feed for the cows.
Right.
We take a look at, all of our nutritional stuff together. I mean, we all work together on stuff. As far as the grain side, I pretty much run the grain side with my grandfather. The 2 of us do a lot of the planting. I do a lot of the corn. He does a lot of the beans. We all work together. We all have our separate farms, separate leases, separate equipment. But when it comes time for planting, harvesting, and working and stuff, we all just work together because it just makes life so much simpler for all of us. And then, like, when we go to the fields, it's everybody goes here. We know where everybody's at.
Good.
I mean, we still separate some days, especially in the fall, when we're trying to harvest and trying to get our small grains planted. There are the days that, we have to spread a little bit, but most of the time we're trying to stay pretty tight-knit so that we kind of can see where everybody's at and make sure everybody's in good shape and go from there.
That's good.
The dairy consists of about 200 cows, and we're tilling a little over 3,500 acres total between the 4 of us, or 5 of us. And
that keeps you busy.
It keeps busy.
We're kind of we have a new farm in Clayton. We're kind of jumped into like the beef industry. So we got a little beef going. So.
More livestock.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I purchased my first farm in 2013 through the Delaware Young Farmers Program, which without that I would have never been able to do that. And I'm certainly sitting here today looking at farmland in our area thinking I wish I'd have done more or could have done more.
Right.
Because because in our area we are actually growing houses faster than we can grow crops.
Yeah.
But last year we actually stepped out of our box and we purchased another farm down in Kent County, down by Clayton, with the intentions of doing some more farm to fork stuff.
Awesome.
Growing more animals down there because it has a facility, and then bringing stuff up here and selling, to our local neighbors.
Where you have the community and
right.
customers. That'd be great.
So that's been really good. We started a beef business with my mother and my father last year, and it's been growing slowly
ever since
as we've started. And it's one of the things that we looked at the beginning and said, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Of course, after the first couple times, it's like, oh wow, there is really a need for this to happen. Because people want the farm
local
food,
yeah.
Which has been great. So I mean, that's been a big deal. We've talked about doing some other things, like bottling milk or stuff like that. But with the dairy here on the farm, we cannot do that with our Land O'Lakes contract. So the new farm actually has a dairy facility on it.
Oh.
That
you
hopefully
could
down the road we're thinking of trying to
entertain that idea of raw milk. Okay.
It's been shut down for a long time.
So. Right. And take a while to get back up.
But as we've talked about at the beginning, as much stuff as we're doing, we're just kind of trying to baby step into some of this.
Yes, not burn out.
I don't want to jump off the cliff too fast.
Yeah. Yes. No, I totally understand. You guys are so inspiring, and how close-knit your family is just, the center of agriculture today in these family farms. So it's really great to see. Now, Emily, you grew up with dairy as well. Does your family still have that?
So my parents have kind of switched over to the beef industry, since us kids have technically moved out. We, as a whole, still have a handful of animals here on the dairy farm, but specifically where I grew up, my mom has chickens, a couple of horses, and then a couple of beef cows.
Nice.
We do have, because these are our pets, not our business.
Right.
So we do have an old milk cow down there.
Oh, nice.
She's just grazing.
At your farm,
living her best life.
Hobby animal.
Yes.
And that cow is actually pretty special to them because that was one of the first cows they've ever had go excellent.
Really?
And
you can't sell her.
Yeah.
For a dairy to go excellent, I mean, that takes a lot, and that shows good genetics and good breeding over time, which is what, when they first started, they started with some lower grade animals, and then the animals have progressed over time. So
right.
that just
that's
shows,
what you strive for, yeah.
That shows, their time in 4-H and FFA where they learn what to do, and then, I mean, as they got older, they talked to a lot of people, her and her brothers, had a whole bunch of other mentors who told them, what to breed the cows to and how to correct some of the genetics in the animals.
Right.
So, which has been really, really good. So
that's a neat part of the dairy industry as well, of course.
Yep.
Now, Robbie, you've embraced, obviously we've talked about the precision ag and some sustainable practices on your farm. What's one change that you could say that's made the biggest impact on your farm?
I don't necessarily think there's just one change. I mean, I think in the world we live in today, especially in our area, we have so many neighbors that no matter what we do, we always have eyes watching us. And not that we're ever trying to do anything under the radar, but with our neighbors, we always want to be good stewards. So in the last several years, we've tried to implement doing more things where we're putting our nutrients in the ground, not on top of the ground. We're trying to reduce our leaching, that we're getting. The last 2 years, specifically for the dairy here, we've gone from broadcasting our manure to injecting our manure into the ground. Fertilizer-wise, we've gone to strip tilling so that we are no longer putting any of our fertilizer for our corn crop on top of the ground. Wow. It's all going in the ground, 16 inches where the plants need to go. And that, to me, is being a good steward and caring about our waterways and, protecting, what is there, because we don't want to lose what we're putting down. We want to be able to build on what we're working with, and for us in an area like this, there will be less and less farmland, so we need to be more productive with what we have to be sustainable and to be able to stay here. And that's been one of the big changes that we've done is making sure that we're utilizing everything we're putting down and making sure what we're doing is to the best of the plant's ability and to the best of our ability to grow more with less.
Yeah, setting that example. And obviously these people that come in don't understand your lifestyle and understand what you're doing, and it's so important that you're showing them that we are good stewards and we are taking care of the land, and they don't know that you're applying those nutrients for a reason, right? And you're not going to waste your time or waste your money and spray things or apply things that you don't need to grow the crop.
And a lot of our neighbors don't realize how many extra steps or extra practices that we're actually implementing on our farms. They just see us, okay, well, we're going to have to drive over the sprayer. Well, they must be putting something bad on. Well, we're not always putting something bad on. Most time it's just, a fertilizer or, whatever we need to take care of our weeds, which, okay, we have to do, but that's also helping by keeping the nutrients available for the plants that we're trying to grow, our corn, our soybeans, and wheat. So, I mean, it's been a lot of changes in the last several years that we make sure that we are on top of everything.
And that's definitely a good example for other farmers too.
Yep.
Following the right way and right timing and practice for sure.
We talk about 4 R's all the time.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Right way, right time.
Yeah.
Right placement. I mean, and that's why what we're doing now has always been, what can we do better? And I mean, we deal with 3-4 different what we call crop advisors, and all the time they're like, well, what did this one say? What did that one say? Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm asking all of you because I want all of you to give me your opinion.
Yeah.
And then we'll take that and we'll throw it in the bowl and then we'll figure out what actually works. So
that's great.
But
now, Emily, you're an ag teacher, an FFA advisor, something near and dear to my heart. What's one common misconception that your students, you're in a, more of a city area, that they come in with in your classroom and you maybe address?
They don't have the belief, I think, is really what it comes down to. They don't understand the full circle.
Yeah.
The kids who are in my classroom want to be in my class, so they know that obviously beef comes from cattle and chicken comes from chicken, and they know that brown cows don't give us chocolate milk, but they generally don't believe oh, it snowed this weekend, the animals still need to be fed.
Right.
They don't believe, oh, it's raining outside, that stops chores kind of thing. So it's kind of one of those things where no, if you're going to get market hogs or if we're going to have these goats or we're going to raise chicks or whatever, it's not me.
It's 24/7.
Yes, it's us as everyone. And I think that's been the biggest thing. We have a lot of kids who oh yeah, I love the animals, but I don't want to get my hands dirty.
Right.
So I'm oh,
that's part
you
of
have the wrong ag teacher.
Yeah. So do you actually have animals at your school?
Have at the school, so directly behind my classroom, we have 2 little dairy goats that are mom and son. They just really just hang out. And then we have about 50 chickens, and then we hatched about 45 chicks. Wow. And we the students just determined their genders, and we separated the hens and the roosters. And so we added about 15 hens to our pack. And then last year the kids got market hogs for the very first time. So they showed at the Delaware State Fair and Talbot County and all of that stuff.
That's amazing.
Huge eye-opener for them. And it was one of those things where I was like, guys, I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
And middle of July, when fair was coming up, they realized she's not doing it for us.
Nope.
So that was a huge okay, now I completely understand what you're talking about.
Right.
So,
and can you imagine the hard work that they learn from that?
It's so rewarding for
skills.
Everyone.
Yeah. How many students did you have show?
We had 4 high school students, and then I actually had Miss Hawkins' son actually jumped in on the group. So we had 5 total market hogs that went through. And they, like I said, we went up to Pennsylvania one day. We went over to Talbot County. It was a great, so rewarding.
Yeah.
So now, of course, kids are they saw it, and I'm okay, what are we doing this year?
They want to participate too.
Yes.
That's great.
We have some facility work to do that, but it was a really great experience.
That's amazing. Now, what made you want to come back and serve as an agriculture teacher?
It's a really great question. It's very weird. I always knew that I was going to be in the ag industry my whole life. I grew up in it. I'm obviously married into it. So like, I really didn't think that there was going to be like an ag career for me. Started actually at college for physical therapy.
Really?
Was interning for a physical therapy place for my scholarship required community service. I had never been so bored in my life before. So I immediately was like, okay, I need to change. I need to change. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Speaking with some people, trying to like figure out like what do I want to be, like really hard decision.
Mm-hmm.
I still needed the community service hours. So my mom, who was a teacher, had me come in. She worked an after school program for homework help. And she's an English teacher and hated math, and she needed someone to help her with math. So she asked me to come in, get my community service hours, and like that kind of thing. And that really sparked my teaching interest.
Yep.
So then started doing some homework, learned that in the state of Delaware, if you get a teaching degree and then pass your practices, you can kind of teach wherever you would like. So I was like, okay, my best route is physical education, get my teaching degree, and then kind of branch from there. So that's exactly what I did. Became a PE teacher. Then I started long-term subbing here and there. And then Debbie Kirk at Reading Middle School called me and was like, hey, I'm leaving. Do you want a job? And I was like, what? No way. It was one of those things where
it was divine timing.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm like incredibly grateful for it because like never had I imagined that this is like kind of like the route I was going to go. And it was the best step that I ever took. So I taught at middle school.
I remember you were at Reading Middle. Yep.
6 years. This is year 9. Yeah. So I taught 6 years at Reading Middle, and then I moved up to high school 3-ish years ago. This is my 9th year of teaching. So
wow, I cannot believe that.
Yes, and then really close with the Dean of Ag at University of Delaware. Yep. So talking with him and like his goals for ag education up in Newcastle County, it just really sparked some things that I'm just hoping to keep trucking along.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see you and your role and all your students and how much that they enjoy it.
Yes, that's the most rewarding part. That's why I do it.
Right, for your
yes,
kids.
Absolutely.
Now, Robbie, you are a lifelong Farm Bureau member and a leader. What kind of memories do you have with Delaware Farm Bureau, and why are you so still involved in this organization?
I got all kinds of memories. They're all really good. I mean, the big thing is I mean, we've made a lot of friends along the way. You know, we're like working at the Farm Bureau down at the fair. I mean, we've worked in the booth, and we've helped out with doing the food stuff. I mean, you sit there and you talk to people and see what's going on in their neck of the woods and how things are different. As I sat on board, you know, I've listened to people talk about their concerns, you know, throughout ag, and you know, I've always thought, okay, well, we need to make sure that we're addressing these concerns and making sure, you know, whatever board I was on, you know, that everybody's voice is getting heard. You know, so if somebody comes to me and tells me something, I want to make sure that we're getting this through to everybody else.
Right.
And I mean, it's always been, to me, ag in Delaware has been number one. I mean, I've grown up in ag. I've loved ag all my life, and I mean, I want to continue on doing what we're doing here. You know, on the farm. You know, I love growing crops. The people that come up and they want to see the cows or want to know about what's going on or what we're doing, or the people that we talk to. You know, I like teaching them about how we do things, and actually, I like sitting there and watching their eyes open up when you tell them, well, this is how we do things. Well, I didn't know that. You know, I always thought we did it this way, or you did it that way, or, you know, however it was. So it's been rewarding to me to see that people understand that their food doesn't just come from the grocery store, and that it's actually coming from a farm or a farm family who's putting in the hours, who was doing the work, you know, to get their food from here to the grocery store. And like I say, I mean, over the years, I mean, there's been so much that's happened and so much stuff that I've done, and everything is a memory to me, and I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that I've had to be able to serve the Delaware farmers, you know, in any situation.
Yeah. Especially in this county, in Newcastle County, and the pressures
in
you're facing.
County, yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me, you know, we talk about housing in our area, and yeah, we have housing in this area, and then you go a little further south, and it's not so bad. Then you talk to somebody from just say down the beach, and you've always thought the beach is crazy, but then there is some good farms that are down there that people are still trying to do the same thing we are, fight with the neighbors and fight with the traffic and continue on their family's legacy that they've started.
Right.
However many
Years
centuries
ago.
or years or whatever ago. So.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point about the average consumer. They just don't know what they don't know, and you're just trying to educate them.
Yeah, the average person is way too far removed from the farm, and ag education is definitely the number one thing that we strive for. And I guess one of my favorite things is over the years we've had so many kids come through the farm through the leasing program. That all started with my father and my grandfather, leasing animals when I was young. And then we've kind of taken it over and we've done some more, and we go to the fair and help the kids. And the kids that come, and then they say, wow, we've learned so much from here. But then they take that back home and then they teach their mom and dad or they teach their friends. And then that goes to 4 more people.
Right.
That is rewarding to us because that means what we're telling them is actually getting through to other people. And they're not just saying, okay, well, Google told me this is true, and it's not,
And that's what we're facing now.
That's exactly. I mean, and everything that is on the internet is, supposed to be true.
Right.
It's not.
And that just makes our jobs even harder, and we have to be in front of them even more now. And, you're playing a key role with the education piece too, and what they're seeing and learning, and it's just so full circle.
I tell people the one thing that I always think that is misunderstanding is when people read, just say milk is antibiotic free. Okay, well, first of all milk that is shipped off the farm has to be antibiotic free.
Yep.
So just because they threw that label on there doesn't make any difference.
Same with chicken.
Same with chicken, exactly. And that's what I think is the miscommunication between the consumer and the farmer is people think just by putting that label on there that made it so much better.
Right.
When in reality, it was good all along. They just didn't realize all the stuff that we have to go through. Our milk can't be shipped unless it's tested and it is antibiotic.
Right.
So, I mean, it right there just tells you.
They just don't know,
They don't know, so. And that's, like I say, over the years of the leasing the animals, I mean, and the kids that have come and they've seen what we've done and they've helped us do stuff and how far they've gone and how many students have actually left us to go into the ag industry, no matter whether it was dairy or crops or, we even have one friend now who's working for the USDA in inspections. I mean, which, he started out in a townhome in Middletown and didn't know anything, and here he is, he's going this far and doing great things for all of us.
Right.
So I mean, that's been pretty rewarding over the years to see, how far these kids have come and how far we have come as a family and what we've done over the years.
No, it's definitely inspiring, and you guys are great examples of what it means to be true farmers and loving the land and taking care of it. So it's so great to think about how much you've accomplished in so many years. Now, this next question might be hard, and you both can answer it, but what is one moment, whether big or small, where you both thought, this is why we do what we do?
So our 4-year-old can tell you what breed of animal it is, what type of tractor it is, what type of vehicle it is. Like, it's just one of those things where he's so smart. And it's like,
he learned it just from YouTube.
Yes, and that was, it wasn't like we had like picture books and we just sat there with like flashcards or anything. Like, it was just him sitting there and just seeing like him asking the questions and stuff like that. And you can see the spark, you can see the interest at 4 years old of, I think he wants to be in the dairy industry, or in the ag industry, I should say.
Yeah.
He can grow up to be whatever he wants to be. That's not a problem. But I generally think that just by him seeing, he wants to do. And that is a huge, like, okay, we got to keep going.
Yeah.
That is a huge, like, motivation, I guess you could say.
For you to keep pulling through.
He reminds me a lot of me when I was younger.
Yeah.
If there was something moving in the yard, I wanted to be in it. Tractors, it didn't matter. And that's the way he is. I mean, he is out in the fields with us all the time. It doesn't matter who's there or what's moving. Some days he'll start out with me just saying the combine. The next thing you know, he'll be like, I want to go over there. Well, then he'll come back and he'll tell me, what they had done.
Oh, wow.
And he'll tell me
He
how
is
they
smart.
did things.
Wow.
Which I'm like, okay,
Future farmer
And
right
then-
there.
And then to me, that's like, okay, well, that's the greatest feeling in the world because that means he wants to do what we're doing and what we've done for the last 5 generations. So, hopefully that can be continued. So it's very rewarding to see that our kids want to do that, and everything that we've done over the years and are doing now is for me. And I know that everybody says that you want your kids to do more or have more than you've ever had, and that's the way we feel, and that's the way we're headed, so and like I say, I mean, if he wants to be out in the tractor or doing something, I'm not telling him no. I mean, he's go ahead, see you later.
Right.
It also turns, like, for Newcastle County, because obviously there's more people and less land. So another reason why we do what we do is so that people understand. Like, many, many years ago, we were hunting, and of course, early morning, hunting for geese, completely legal and all that stuff. But the cops were called because they heard gunshots. And then it's posted on social media. I moved down here for the quiet country. And we're like, you are in the quiet country during certain seasons. So it's just the lack of knowledge. And that's why I try not to, but like you get on social media and you just see these misconceptions and you're like immediately report, no, wrong, like listen to me, like so that's like another reason why I think that's why I got into kind of like the education part where I'm like, no, I think I might be able to stop some things like in the classroom and help them understand no, we need land, you're gonna smell cow manure, like it smells no matter what you do, like so it's that's like another reason why, because if we allow it to happen, then we're going to get pushed out. Yeah. And that kind of like, I mean, we've been here for almost 100 years, so it kind of makes it hard to be pushed out by somebody who's only been here for a year. So
you want to be here for the next 100.
That would be great.
No, I definitely, and I guarantee if these people just met you or met a farmer, that their whole mindset and misconception would be changed. So it's definitely about that relationship.
I tell anybody we meet, like even if we're at the fair or if we're at the dinner and somebody says, oh, they see a shirt that says Emerson Farm. Oh, are you part of the Emersons? Yeah. Ask me questions. I mean, come up to me and ask me. If you want to come see the farm, I'd be more than glad to show you the farm. I'd be glad to show you what we do and how we do it, just so that everybody understands what's going on. I mean, because like I say, it's just crazy. And just take, for instance, Bo. I mean, our oldest son, he goes to school and he starts talking about stuff. Well, then the next day the teacher's like, he was talking about this and this and this, but we weren't sure. Well, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. That's
the
what
truth.
Was going on. And she was like, we didn't know any of that. I'm like, listen to him.
Even a 4-year-old making an impact on these people. Wow.
I mean, we've had multiple teachers at a school say, he said this yesterday. Like, was it good or bad?
Warn us.
Right. But I mean, it's very rewarding when somebody realizes that we're out to feed them and not kill them.
Right.
And
that's the key.
The key thing to it. I mean, and we're here to all be on the same page and produce good products for everyone. So.
That's great. Now, if you could leave one message for young couples considering a future in agriculture, what would you want them to know?
My immediate thought is just do it. I know it's scary. It is so. Him and I talk all the time. We've talked about. I've always wanted to run a little market. I've always wanted to do like kind of like a little mom and pop shop kind of thing. And he talks, oh, it's a gamble. And I'm like, you put millions of seeds in the ground every year, and that's a gamble. But you do it every year. Like it's kind of one of those things where he's been doing it for so long that it's obviously almost guaranteed. But putting a shop up for the first time is not almost guaranteed. But it kind of comes down to if you can do it, do it. And that's him and I, and obviously his family, my family. We've all come together with okay, well, this is kind of like our idea. Can we make it work? And you sit, and it might take a couple of years, or it might take 10 or 15, or it might take a month or whatever. And it kind of, right now, it's worked out for us.
Right.
We see an inspiration and we have a thought. And
if there's an opportunity, definitely take it. I mean, no matter what you do, there's always going to be challenges. But for us, I mean, we've always figured out ways to get through them, come over it.
a lot of resources, luckily.
But there's so many people out there that are willing to help or do things, and that's what I tell everybody. I mean, if there's something that I can do to help, I would be 100% glad to do it. You know, if to any young person, I mean, if there's something that we have that you need to borrow, you need to use it, you need us to come help, do whatever, so be it. I mean, in our community where we're at, with the neighbors we have, with the houses that are coming, I mean, anybody who wants to get an ag, I think should definitely try to do it, and definitely be willing for the challenges, because I mean, it's very, very rewarding. I mean, it's this lifestyle may not be for everybody, but for us, in the end, you know, the outcome is always great. You know,
Yeah.
So,
No, that is very true to think about, and so rewarding. When I like how you said, like, we're here to help. We want to be maybe a mentor to a young farmer that's starting. I know it's so hard for farmers to start now more than ever, but we have resources here. We have, you know,
if I can help you,
right,
we will find somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing that we try to point out. I mean, there's so many people or so many resources out there that can or will. You know, and it's the ag community is definitely a lot different than just your everyday
any other
community. I mean, it's crazy. So
yeah, definitely at the Farm Bureau, they are there to provide resources, and the community and the people and network that can provide those resources too. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me, guys. This was a great conversation, and I definitely need to recruit you for the Promotion Education Committee, because you guys are doing some great work, and it's so inspiring to just see a young couple so involved in agriculture in so many aspects, and how many people you guys have touched is just so inspiring, and I'm looking forward to seeing whatever you'll accomplish next. Thanks for having me.